again, you don't get to pick. You don't get to pick. And the sooner we can learn that in any area of our life, like I think honestly, the less entitled will be, and thus more expectations will be met, and thus we're happier. I've been trying to do this for a while, and it's understanding who you are and how other people perceive who you are. Because like that's really what it is, and just like in a conversation, like I think a lot of that's intuition. Like people are really charismatic, often can just do this automatically, but they're able to sense and adapt very effectively and portray themselves the way that they need to portray to the people that they're trying to reach. Like any good politician, the way they can talk to their audience is just like, wow, that is amazing. He's able to read, or she's able to read that audience so effectively and become this thing that they want more than they even knew that they wanted. But like someone like you or someone like me who's more systems oriented, it requires of like objectively learning our own system, the systems of Alex Cortright, the system of you, as if it was any other system, and not having any bias of what you want it to be or what you'd like it to be. Like maybe I'm just kind of a pretentious asshole. It's like, well, that's what you got. If you want to change it, that's fine, but that's who you are, and you need to just view that just like I know this microphone has really low gain and it's kind of bassy. Like it has like I know the objective facts of this microphone and what the and when to use it and when it's a good tool and when it's a bad tool. I need to view myself and you need to view yourself like any content creator in the same way. And you're not going to be able to Google your own documentation, obviously, but like learn that like there's certain things that I'm just bad at. Like I can do and I can work my ass off on it and I can make something salvageable, but I'm just bad at that. And there's certain things that I can just excel at and learning. And I'm like just unbiasedly trying to learn how I fit in this ecosystem. Like as a bubbly personality, what's up, guys? It's so good to see you. It's like that is exhausting for me to do. It's not natural. It looks inauthentic. I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And that's just would it be better if I could do that? Sure, but that's not a tool I have. And there's other things that like I just have a proclivity for and learning and just seeing yourself like a video game character that you got handed. And
Yeah.
that's so hard to do because like especially talking to people, it's like, yeah, I'm trying to learn how other people say, it doesn't matter how other people see you. I was like, you're an idiot. Like you're so wrong. It really does matter how other people see you. Like
Yeah.
what you do with that is like people have the assumption that that once you know that information, you have to pander to it. It's like, I'm not telling you what you should do after that. I'm telling you that that's really important information to have, whether it's in like a romantic relationship. Because I noticed that a lot of people do this. Like they'll grow resentful of their partner because the partner likes this aspect about them that they don't think is there. I was like, well, clearly it's there to your partner. Like maybe you should like maybe your partner's completely blind and can't see something or seeing something that's not there. That's possible. But more likely, it's just some aspect of you that you don't want to see, or you don't like the idea of being that thing. And I'm like, ugh. And so just kind of having an unbiased, self-critical view of like, this is what I am. I need to accept and love this creature, wretched as he may be, incompetent as he may be, so I can become the thing and create the content that I actually can create and have an ability to make.
Yeah, and when you talk about how people see you and wanting to know and like not caring versus caring too, it's like in the end, you want as much data as you can have. Like it's not about how you react to that. It's that like I would always like to know whether or not I'm going to react on that or change something on that. That's up to me. And that's up to your own. You got to be strong. You have to understand like who you are and who you want to be. But like, and there's nothing wrong with changing who you are too. I mean, if you
Oh,
like, I would like,
absolutely.
there's so many times when like I don't know. I guess I've changed myself so much over the past few years that like I've had friends be like, "You are I don't know you like anymore. Like I don't know
Mhm.
that person." I've also had people tell me that like when I catch up with them after a few years, um, I've had them be like say things about me that I was like, "Whoa, I'm not like that." like,
Mhm.
like I had someone not long ago tell me um that I'm like a really negative person, not in a negative way. Like they were just, like that I was like thinking that I was down on things or like things. I was like, dang, when I used to know them, I was more like that.
Mhm.
And it's like, but like I consciously changed those things because I did get that input that you're talking about, I guess is what I'm saying. Like the input that you're talking about, I received that. And as a part of my transformation, I chose to walk away from those habits and those mindsets and grow in those ways.
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, I still am very knowing. I don't know if this happens to you. You're a bit more confident in this. You're far more this way. Because I know that there's things there, like I find it often debilitating for me to act confidently because like I think I'm this thing, but I'm not exactly sure, and I could be totally wrong, and that would be okay. I could handle that data, but I'm not getting it. But I'm not sure or I'm not. And so like I get stuck in the abstract as opposed to just testing it. It's like, okay, well, act as if you were this thing. I was like, but what if I'm not? It was like, well, you'll find out. It'll be a sad week, but you'll find out. I was like, oh, like, and that's the same thing. Like, I noticed, like, to not do that creates entitlement, and I mean entitlement meaning that you have expectations of your some aspect of your life that you ought not have. And I find learning who you are inside of the social ecosystem of the world really destroys entitlement because you start saying like, "I think I deserve this." It's like, "Well, go test it. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't." You know, like a musician that had like any child star. Like I you read articles about them, they have these huge identity crises, like when they hit like mid 20s or 30s because they're like, "Oh, people only gave a shit about me because I was famous." You know? Well, that sucks. I thought they've been lying to me this whole time. But like learning that data and of how other people see you is good God. Like it's like it really will fuck with your sense of self-value because you think these aspects about you are valuable. But just like in music, you're like, oh, I'm gonna make really good music in this way. Nobody cared about it. And then you just make this shitty, like cheesy parody song and everybody loves it, you know? You're like, well, maybe again, you don't get to pick. You don't get to pick. And the sooner we can learn that in any area of our life, like I think honestly, the less entitled will be, and thus more expectations will be met, and thus we're happier.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I gotta do.
That's
No,
all you have to
easy,
do.
easy, easy peasy.
Yeah.